Good morning, students. I hope you all are fine and you all are following all the classes regularly. Okay, so today is your poetry class, and we have already completed the poem The Darkling Thrush. And I hope you all have gone through the study material and you all have followed the video classes minutely as well. So we have come to know about line to line description or explanation. Along with that, we have already come to know about the theme and imagery and figure of speech of this particular poem. And I had given you certain suggestion regarding framing your answer. All right. So today in this class we are going to learn how to frame the answer of your question. All right. A sample question answer will be provided in today's class, and it will be discussed as well. So I hope you all have kept your book, pen and paper ready. All right. So let us start today's class. As you all can see in the screen, the question says, referring closely to the poem The Darkling Thrush, describe the scene in nature as depicted by the poet. So in this particular class, I have framed a 5 plus 5 plus 5 pattern question. And these questions, whichever question is allotted here today, means whatever be the question, I think this answer may guide you properly, because the questions are set in that manner only, so that you all can get a clear view regarding your answer of this particular poem. All right. So without wasting time, let us start with the answer. All right. So what does the question say? What you need to do is you need to understand the question minutely at the very first. All right. So here it says, describe the scene in nature as depicted by the poet. All right. So let's see how to frame answer of this question. Once again I remind you, it's a sample answer. Your answer may definitely vary, and it should vary rather. Only you need to keep the thing within your mind, that you do not miss anything that is related to the key points or the main points. All right. So what we basically need to frame here is, as the poet has depicted nature. That means, and to be more specific, to you need to elaborate first paragraph and half of the second, all right, of the poem in the tone of the poet, all right, as the poet has depicted. So the answer is written in it's written lucidly, so that it becomes convenient to all of you. All right. So now let us read the answer. Thomas Hardy beautifully describes the scene in nature in his poem The Darkling Thrush. In order to make it sensuous, he employs concrete imagery. The poet, in a sad mood, is leaning upon a wooden gate. He is all alone, as there is no one else visible at this time of the hour on a very cold wintry evening. It's the evening time. The light of the sun is fading fast. The thick, tangled stems of the climbing plants that line the sky seem to the poet to be like broken, useless wires. Frost and winter, it seems, have made everyone except the poet go inside to seek warmth and protection. It is important to note the use of the imagery of clouds hanging in the sky, which seem to form a canopy. This dark canopy from above reminds the poet of the death of the century, that is 19th century. So as I told, it is written, means these lines are written so lucidly in order to make you understand exact the key points. All right. Now you have the complete freedom to frame the answer in your own way. I have tried to jot down only the main things. All right. You can add adjective. You can rather change the structure of the sentence. It depends entirely on you, and with the only condition, that is your sentence should be grammatically correct. All right. Now let us continue with the answer. The land's sure features seem to be the century-scope's outland, his crept the cloudy canopy, the wind its death lament. Seeing the clouds in the sky, the poet feels that the clouds would serve as a tomb for the dead body of the present century. The scene in nature thus is totally gloomy. The mood in nature corresponds to the poet's mood. There is sadness and hopelessness within and without. Perhaps it is the poet who projects his feelings of sadness onto the scene. But the poet suddenly hears the shrill note of an aged thrush. The happy note of the thrush is surprising. It indicates that nature cannot be totally gloomy. The music of nature never dies. So this is the first part of the question. Okay, now you all can frame your own answer. Only the thing you need to remember that you should not miss any key point. Now let us focus on the second part of the same question, which says comment on the significance of the happy song of the thrush in the poem. It is important to keep in mind the mood of the poet. The poet is in a gloomy, hopeless mood. He is thinking of the death of the 19th century and is perhaps worried about the new century that is going to take birth soon. In the 19th century, all old values, and it is already explained to you in the poem that all old values and beliefs had come to disrupted and undermined by the new scientific discoveries and even as well as scientific as well as technological. All right, Darwin's theory and all, it affected their faith on religion. All right, so due to that there was certain change and the people were unsure of the next century. They had no hope for something positive in life. When the poet is lost in these thoughts, he suddenly hears a shrill happy note of an old thrush. The aged bard whose plumes have been battered by the storm is about to die, yet it chooses to pour out its heart in a forceful manner. It reveals that the music of nature never dies. It is heard in some way in every situation, though the poet seems to be confused as to why the bird has sounded a discordant note. We feel that there is a veiled hint that there is yet some hope and the new century, that is 20th century, will come with some good to mankind. So you all can understand, as you all have as you all have understood the poem and as you all have learned the poem, within the poem only each and every question can be covered. Only you need to understand the question accordingly. All right, once you understand the question, I think it's not difficult to frame its answer. But above all, most importantly, you need to understand the poem very well first. All right, now let us focus on the third part of the same question, that is, what does the poem The Duckling Thrush tell you about man's relationship with nature? So as I told, this particular question will follow each type of question. Whatever be the type of the question, I think it comes under these three segments. Only way of expression might be different. There might be difference in way of expression. All right, so the answer, sample answer can be, nature in whatever form it is conceived in the Duckling Thrush seems to reflect the mood of the poet. Most importantly, as the poet himself was not happy at all, that's why the reflection of the poet's mood is reflected in the poem. At first it seems there is correspondence between the mood of nature and that of the poet. There is utter gloom in nature. The light of the sun is fading. Frost appeared like a ghost. The clouds in the sky seem to form a canopy. The wind blowing seems to be lamenting over the death of the century. What the poet hears suddenly and unexpectedly reveals that nature wants to convey that nothing is permanent. The music of nature never dies. The happy shrill note or the thrush in the utter gloom reminds us that there is no real communication between man and nature. Both are perhaps indifferent to each other. If nature seems to be gloomy, is only the projection of the gloom within the poet's mind. Thus, I feel the poet has failed to interpret nature properly. It absolutely depends on you, your own perspective. Okay, uh, if nature could means the thrush only at the end of the poem, the thrush changed the picture of the entire poem. Okay, that's why the pessimism turned into optimism, as it is already discussed. So it depends on the perspective of the answer writer. So you can change your answer accordingly. But you need to be logical. So I hope this is the sample answer I tried to provide to guide you in a way. So your answers will are highly expected. I will be waiting for your answers. You must write down those answers and you need to send them. You will get your response sheet today, and there you are supposed to provide. You are given enough time. Just frame your answer and send so that I can understand how far you all have learned the poem. So this much for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.